The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Off play action. Starr is going to loft one deep over the middle. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers have once again taken the lead. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Kind of shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Moss. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Now back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right, and that's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Check 52. Rush it. Blue dot Corker. Blue dot Corker. Buzz.
2nd and 10. And that is incomplete here.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Crunch. Watch the safety creep.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. At their own 20-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Starr. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
They'll take it at the 42. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. First and 10.
Let's go now. 15 liney, 15 liney.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, second and 10. Back to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll drop to throw. Going for it all. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Denzel Ward, Pro Bowler as a rookie, there to bat that one away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Well, he'll find Hall.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Looking to throw. Star. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Forced to the ground and incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 5.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Get ready. Get ready.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, That should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. And to give this time to the tailback. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
Oh, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best. And
this is caught at the 20. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 57 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll keep it on the ground. Winslow, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. To throw. Starr. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
That's taken it around the 40. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Cost them.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Moss. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, Moss. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here we go on 4th down. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic. Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
To throw again. Starr. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Operating from the gun. Starr. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Let's go,
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
7 yards there and a first down.
Hey, 57's the mic, watch 57. And we're pretty ready.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 29. fires. There he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half.
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. It's free.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Check nickel.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
56. Let's go one more.
To throw on 3rd down. Starr. Wide open receiver complete.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10.
Check 25. Check it backer.
From the gun, Starr. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And it brings up 3rd down.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Looking to throw. Starr. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Here we
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 48 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 19. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 23-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check, check, check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Winslow. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Bucs on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun. Starr. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part.
And, my goodness, another interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
First and 10. Starr. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On first down, Starr. Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Winslow. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. On second down, Winslow. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Dancing to his left. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. A big off.